I'm here with another video, and today I am back with another Scratch tutorial. In this one, I am going to be making a game in which the character collects coins and then can upgrade their character with the coins that they've collected. So the first thing you want to do is, of course, make a Scratch program. You're going to probably want a kind of a coin sprite. I'm just going to do a little yellow circle, but you can make this more or less elaborate if you wish. After you make this coin, what you're going to want to do is start when the green flag is clicked, and we'll put a forever loop, and then we'll make a new coin every, we'll say, 10 seconds. And so in order to make a coin, we'll create a clone. And now what we want to do is put that in a random location. So we'll go to X and Y, and we'll make those numbers random. As you can see, the width, the X goes from negative 240 to 240, if you look right here. And so we can just plug those in here. And then basically the same thing with the Y, but the Y actually goes from negative 180 to positive 180. And so now, if we just click the green flag, you'll see that teleports to a new location, and now there's actually a clone there. I'm just going to speed this up for a moment. And so now you can see that it will occasionally make new coins. I'm just going to set this back to 10. And now we actually don't want it to be showing, but if you don't have it showing when it creates a clone, the clone will basically be invisible. So you have to show it to make the clone and then hide it again, which is what those hide and show blocks do there. And then we'll have to add some code for when it is a clone. And so we'll say when I start as a clone, and then we want it to always ask this, is the cat, which is sprite 1, touching the coin? So we'll just say touching sprite 1. And in there we can delete the clone, which will get rid of it. But we also want to give the cat some money. So what we'll do is we'll make a variable, we'll call it money. Don't need caps lock. Money. Gosh. And we'll make it for all sprites, so you can use it later. We don't really need to make it a cloud variable. But so that's money. We want it to be 0 at the beginning of the program, so we'll set it to 0 right in there. And in this if function, we'll just say change money by 1. And so what that will do now is if I hit the green flag and wait for it to make a clone, there we go. Then if we then move the cat over to it, you can see that the money goes up to 1 and the coin disappears. So now what we want to do is make the cat move. This doesn't have to be a cat, by the way. It can be a sprite that you make if you want. But I'm just going to go ahead and add some basic smooth movement tricks. If you want to know how to do the smooth movement, then you can go see my last Scratch tutorial, which will be down in the description. But for now, add in this movement, you might need to fiddle around with these things a little bit so that I can move more comfortably and not just kind of go flying. It's being a little bit laggy because my computer isn't that great, and because I am recording this video right now. I'm just going to hide these variables real quick. And I kind of want the cat to bounce on the edges, so I'm just going to say if touching edge, then these things would be useful. Just set those to -1 so that you can, if you're touching the edge, then you will be kind of bounced off. So now, as you can see, it's a little bit glitchy, but I think it would be better if I kind of undid the movement after inverting, so that it would kind of have a better bounce. But anyway, now you can't go off the edge or anything. Now I am going to make a pause button, which is probably what you're here for. So you just stop that code. This is going to be a very basic pause button. I'm going to put that in the corner. Well, actually, I'm just going to put, when this sprite clicked, we'll say next costume. So now when I click, it will change from a pause to a play and back. I'll also want to make it go to the correct X and Y when the green flag is clicked. Now, this is going to keep producing coins even when it's paused, and we don't really want that. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually have a variable called paused ? And then we'll say set paused to 0, meaning false, and then we'll say initially it should be on costume 1 as well. It appears on low on battery. And then when it says next costume, say if the costume number, where is that? It's in looks. If the costume number is equal to 2, if it just changed to costume 2, we'll say set paused to 1, because that means it's in pause state, and we can actually just turn this into an if then else function. So now we can just duplicate this and say set it to 0 and put that in there. And so now you can see that if we hit the green flag here, it's in the 0 state, and you can see it's unpaused. And then if we push the button, then the paused will be in the 1 state. And now what we can do, we can put this wait until function in here, and we'll have it wait until the paused is in state 0, which means that it should be producing coins because it is not paused. And so now, if I pause it, then it won't be producing coins. I'll also probably want to hide the coins that are already there. So we'll have an if then else. What did I do? Oh, whoops. So if we have an if then else in this forever loop, then we'll say if paused is equal to 0. If it's unpaused, then we can show the coin, and then if it is paused, we want the coin to be hidden. Now in here, we want this stuff to only happen if it's paused. No, if it's not paused, sorry. And then, so we can put an if function in here. And then we say if paused is equal to 0, 0 meaning false, so when it's not paused, then we can do this stuff. And then when it is paused, so we'll turn this into an if then else. If it is paused, then what we can just do is hide it. And then if we're hiding it, we need to show it again when it's not paused, or else you will not be able to see the cat. Let's get rid of that. And now, if we run it, we can see that we can move the cat, right? And coins should appear. There we go, there's one. And we can collect them. And then, if another coin will appear, there we go. Then we can pause it, and you can see that the cat and the coin are both hidden. And if we resume it, then they will be back in their correct place. So now we can unshow this pause button. Oops. And then I also want to change that to a big display by double clicking. And so now let's just make different backgrounds to discern between the paused and played. So I think that the unpaused background will just be like this green fieldish thing. And then it'll be blue, and it'll say paused right down here. Paused, and that will make this bigger. We'll put it right down here. And so now is we have to switch between the paused state and the unpaused state. So say if paused is equal to 1, then switch backdrop to backdrop 2, which is the pause backdrop, and then we switch it to backdrop 1. We have to remember to put this in a forever loop so that it doesn't check only when the green flag is clicked. And so now, if we click the green flag, then you can see that here's the cat, and we can move him. And there's the green grassy background that I made by filling it in. Wonderful work of art. And so I think the coin appeared on top of me the first time, so it just disappeared. But you can see that if we collect that coin, the money goes up. And then if we hit the pause button, you can see it changes to this paused state. And we still have the money here. The cat and the coin are invisible. And they're in the same place when we resume it. Also, if your cat is moving, and then we pause it, and then I resume it, and I'm not pushing any keys right now, but if we resume it, the cat should keep moving. Yeah, this is really laggy with the screen recording and stuff happening, which is kind of sad, because I can't really show you the full extent of what this does. But if you're following along at home, then you can look at it. Now it's time to move into the second part, which is buying stuff. And so in order to have buying stuff, we'll need to make a new sprite. It says like, let's make a button that will let you make your cat go faster. And so what we want to do is make it so that we can only change this when it is paused. So you can see now that when the green flag is clicked, it's inside a forever loop, so it's always checking. If it's not paused, that is paused is in 0 or false state, then the button will be hidden. When paused is on, in this else side, it should show the button. And so if I click pause, there's this faster cat button. And then if I click play, then we get to here. Alright, good. Now what we want to do is we want to have a cost for this button. Have the fast cat cost be about 25. And then we'll just we'll show the variable if it's not paused and hide the variable. No, show the variable when it is paused and hide the variable when it's not paused. If we hit the green flag, you can see that, and then, dang it, if I don't open up the sidebar, then you can see the cost shows, and then I'm just going to put it into a big variable and put it right under here. And so now you can see the cost is right there, 25. And so now we can say, when this sprite clicked, we'll check if we have enough money. If money is greater than cat cost, and then we'll subtract 1 so that if it's equal to fast cat cost, it'll still let you buy it. We'll probably need to keep track of the level. We'll stop the program first, double click on it, then see that now it's a large display, and we'll just put it on the other side right here. And then we can say change the level by 1, and then we also want to get rid of all that money that you just spent. So let's say change money by and we can just say 0 minus fast cat cost. Right, I need to hide the variable fast cat level when it's not paused, and then show it again when it is paused. Now that I have enough money, I can click the faster cat, and so now you can see that my money goes down and the level comes up to 1. If I just come in here, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it so that increasing the level again will get more expensive. So what I want to do for that is if I go to data, then I can change fast cat level. I'm gonna have it go up by 10% or 0.1 times what it's at already. Oh, whoops, it's the plus. So if I change it, my fast cat level times 0.1, 1, then you can see it'll go up by 10%, and then you can change this 0.1 thing to whatever you want. Oh, that's level. Cost. And then to keep it an integer, I'm just gonna say round, or else it's gonna be like 28.73 or something like that. And then actually it'll be 27.5, but I want to round it so that it's not going to give me like fraction numbers, because then I'll have fraction money and that's gonna just be complicated. And so now it should work. And now the last thing I want to do is actually make the cat go faster. And so if I just go into the cat, there's this x velocity and y velocity. And so what we can do is we can just multiply those by, and then we'll have 1 to start off with, because it starts on level 0, and then we'll have it go up by maybe 0.1 for every level that you get. And if we just duplicate that and change that to y velocity, put that in there, and put that in there. There we go. And we'll put, it's not right, put them in here too. And so now the cat will go faster when you buy the fast cat upgrade. Alright, that's about it. Thanks for watching.